Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 17 of the Jake Break. We appreciate you hopping on board here with us this week. We have an action-packed week of sports, everything in between to chat about this week. I guess welcome back again for another week, Trent. We're hot off of the Ryder Cup here this weekend. I feel like we got to dive right into that because, it had its own excitement, its own craziness, everything in between. Maybe a Sunday miracle was going to happen. I guess, what were your thoughts on that this week? Or weekend, I should say.
Well, I think my motto for the week, Jake, is that if you come to perform a little too late, it doesn't matter. I think that's where I was watching sports this weekend. It's very true. So I'm sure we'll dive into it. I'm still a little hot, but it is what it is. So we can, dive into the Ryder Cup first?
I think we got to. I mean, it literally just ended not too long ago. We about witnessed Ryder Cup history with the heroic push that the U.S. did make here on Sunday afternoon. But at the end of the day, like you said, you got to show up to play. And I don't know, the first 2 days, Europeans were just waxing the United States, for lack of better words. Do you think it was just more of Europeans playing out of their minds, or USA didn't show up? The pairings weren't right. What were you thinking there?
Pairings, in my opinion, for the first 2 days, morning and afternoon sessions sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Xander Schauffele couldn't hit a putt to save his life. He was out there morning and afternoon. I don't know why. You have Colin Morikawa with Harris English. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Sit them. You don't have to play them. They have to play Sunday, but they can be on the range and practicing for Sunday. I don't know. I think the pairings weren't the best, but I also think the crowd didn't seem too into it.
No.
The first 2 days. And that's huge for the Ryder Cup. But I think the Europeans played out of their mind. Like I said, I think it's a little bit of both. When we would stick one to 4 feet, then you'd have Rory come up and stick it to 3 feet, and then you'd have Tommy come up and stick it to a foot from 170 yards out. Yeah. We couldn't catch a break. We'd hit a putt from 30 feet for birdie, and then they would drain a 25-footer. Like, we just couldn't catch a break. We hit flag sticks. When they would hit the flag stick, it would drop down right at the hole. They were chip-ins. I mean, they played fantastic. Hats off to European players. They played unreal. But, players kind of like JT, you expect them to come out firing on the first and second day, and his play just wasn't there. Now, today, dude, JT balled out. If we would have had the way the players played today, all of them, every single U.S. player, if they would have came out and played like that first 2 days, I think we win the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. Europeans played out of their minds on, especially Saturday. I mean, for lack of better terms, they just played unconscious. I mean, unlike anything I think I've ever seen in a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup of any kind, I mean, they were just unreal. I mean, like you said, Team USA would put one to 8-10 feet, feel pretty good spot for birdie, and they would drop it into basically a kick-in range. It's pretty hard to compete with that, especially if you're kind of running from behind. But I agree with you. Like, obviously, I'm not a professional golfer. I'm not in that position, so I can't speak for anybody. But at the same point in time, day one, some of the pairings that didn't work, why are we going to them on day two? Let's mix it up a little bit. Cam Young, I thought, had a great weekend. Top U.S. point earner and, hometown kid. I would have maybe liked to have seen him play out there a little bit more. I get it. He's a Ryder Cup rookie. But why not put him out more? Hometown kid, get the crowd energized, fired up, and he played well. I mean, he knows the course. It showed out today with his match against Rose. Great match, getting a point for Team USA, and even yesterday played really well. And some of the guys, I don't know, that just didn't play their best stuff on Friday, Saturday, kind of had it exaggerated with how good the Europeans played. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't blame this on Keegan. I think Keegan Bradley was a great captain. He took it very seriously. Good team of vice captains. But at the end of the day, the cards didn't fall in our favor. But the one thing, obviously, at the end of the day, this didn't matter, but they were talking about with the last couple of matches wrapping up as they were coming in, Team USA was leading those matches. That rule, the envelope rule, what's your thoughts on that? With Victor Hovland getting the injured neck here today, having to be unable to play, they just have the match. I don't know if the tables were a little bit different and Europeans would have just retained the cup or maybe even, potentially lost. Does that make a difference? I don't know. You can speculate on that all day, but what's your thoughts on that whole envelope rule?
Well, I think before we dive into it, explain to the people the envelope rule. Because
Yeah.
it is confusing for those of you. Because even I looked it up yesterday because I was like, "What the heck is this envelope rule?" And I'm still a little foggy on it because it's a weird thing that has been in place forever, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's great for the I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to think of here, but it's good for the integrity of the game, like the history of the game. So essentially, what the envelope rule is, each team has one person's name in an envelope that will not play in a certain match if somebody on the other team gets hurt. So today, for example, Victor Hovland woke up, had a strained neck, wasn't able to play. Harris English was in that envelope for Team USA, so he did not play. So they just have that match. So basically, Europe got half a point, USA got a half a point in that match. So historically, that's how it's always been done. Some folks were making the argument, hey, if Team Europe would have retained the cup, meaning it would have been a draw, does that rule maybe get looked at again?
Man, it's tough. How I kind of wish they would twist the envelope rule, which I understand there is 12 players selected for Europe and USA. Injuries are going to happen. It is what it is. There's a lot of golf, especially if you're chosen for morning and afternoon sessions both days. Now, granted, you're making half the swings in the morning sessions, in the foursomes, but I don't know what you think about this. It'll never happen. But let's just say the envelope rule gets changed to, let's say, 2 players, the USA and Europe both. Before the Ryder Cup starts, there are 2 names in order, 1 and 2. USA would select, like, say, I don't know, say they selected Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. In that, say Phil Mickelson's number 1, Tiger Woods is number 2. Say, say Justin Thomas got injured, right, this week and couldn't play on Sunday. They reach into that envelope. Whoever's number 1 steps in that match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To still
Basically
have golf.
Somebody on standby.
Exactly. And now they weren't selected for the Ryder Cup. Like, I understand that. You want to keep the integrity of the game. But at the end of the day, a half a point can be huge.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like, it's and Keegan Bradley said that Harris English took it like a champ. Finding out that he wasn't going to get to play, and he was, all about supporting his team, and didn't have a bad attitude about it, so props to him. But it's one of those things that, like, I don't think Team USA should have gotten a point because Victor Hovland couldn't compete. Half a point, I'm not salty about that whatsoever. But I think it would add some, like, spark to it, where they did, like, a live opening of the envelope of, like, oh, Victor Hovland's out. Pull the name out. This is who's filling in, and then they step out. Like, that would be crazy.
Oh yeah, it'd be electric.
Yeah. So that would be super cool. But I don't know, man. It was wild. My wife's a champ because we went out for our 1-year anniversary dinner this afternoon, and I had my phone up the entire time watching the Ryder Cup because the restaurant had football on and didn't have the Ryder Cup on.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me.
And my wife was actually getting into the Ryder Cup, like, because I watched it literally. I watched from start to finish, all days. And she was getting into it, and I was like, because this morning she's like, why are you even turning this on? Like, there's no hope. And I'm like, honey, just relax. Like, we'll see where we get. and like, as it kept progressing, and 2, props to Bryson DeChambeau. Being down, 5 holes?
Oh, yeah.
Being down 5 through 7?
Yeah, that's tough. And he had a chance to win it. He had a chance to win that match, which is a miracle in itself.
And, for that 5-footer there at the end that he drilled to have it so we didn't lose, like, props to him because that putt, I mean, terrifying. Because if he would have missed it, Team USA loses there and we don't have another chance. But to be down 5 holes in the Ryder Cup, that is like being at the bottom of the Grand Canyon and looking up and there's, like, no escape.
Oh yeah, at that level of golf, I mean that is digging yourself as deep as you can go almost.
And for like Bryson's mentality, because he can kind of be a head case sometimes, where he just
Mm.
his I don't know, I don't know if it's ego or what it is that gets in the way. But for him to dig himself out of that, props to him. I mean, in the emotion after he halved it and they tied, he was ecstatic. And I think everyone Team USA was super proud of him for not giving up, because he easily could have crapped the bed and finished 13 down at that
Oh,
point.
without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean that could have been a borderline Tiger Woods session at the WGC one year where he had the match over by the 10th hole, like
Mm-hmm.
10th or 11th hole. I mean, it was looking pretty dire straits there for a while, but yeah, I mean he played it out and he dug deep and like I said had a real actual good chance on 17 and 18 to potentially win that match. But it was pretty exciting.
But the one thing that I think separated Team Europe from Team USA is team chemistry at the end of the day. For those of you who don't know, in the morning that was the foursomes, it's alternate shot. So like if Jake and I were playing in that, I would tee off, and then wherever my ball lands, Jake has to play.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also trying to pair people because they have to use the same ball. There are some people that, right, because they have to use whatever, that the play is a lies. So say a player is used to playing a TP5, and the player you're paired with is a strict Pro V1 player. That may cause issues for someone's head game. So you have to take that into account, but then also player length, right? Because if you pair two super short players together and you're going to be against two long players, it's going to be tough. So, man, I think Team Europe just had that extra team chemistry. Like Rory and Tommy, incredible.
Well, and they returned everybody except for one person was a rookie on that team.
Yeah.
Like that's an advantage, whether you want to say it or not. That definitely plays a factor in the whole tournament.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that I wish it was every year, not every 2 years, because it's such an exciting time for golf, and to see some tempers flare here and there. I think that's what can get a team kicked into gear.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, all in all, though, it was an exciting tournament. I was a huge fan of it. The next thing, obviously, we can look forward to is the President's Cup in 2026 here, at Medina Country Club in Chicago. But the Ryder Cup, I think, just brings a whole different atmosphere. It's a good time. So, but all in all, it was an exciting tournament. I mean, I'm looking forward, like you said, to the next one. Provide a lot of good entertainment this weekend, but this weekend was just all together a great weekend in sports between the Ryder Cup, Red Sox clinched a postseason bid, college football had some exciting games with Alabama and Georgia, and then also the other nightcap game, Penn State and Oregon.
I don't want to talk about it. All right, for those of you roasting me for being a Penn State fan, they have the easiest schedule, blah, blah, blah. I understand. I validated that. I never said they had a tough schedule. I just want to make it clear what I said earlier. If you show up too late, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. If Penn State would have showed up like they did with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, they would have rolled Oregon. They drove down the field in a minute and 6 seconds, and looked like they were playing Appalachian State. Oregon had no idea what happened when they got in the end zone. They were like, "What just happened?" If we could have played like that the entire game, a complete different outcome. Now Oregon, hats off to them. Played a fantastic game, but I'm calling bullcrap on the fumble that got called back. A blade of grass isn't down. I don't care what you say.
Turf crew, you got to mow that down a little bit more.
When the camera angle is pointed downhill, it's not a perfectly level shot. That guy wasn't down, and and they called it a fumble. You have to have clear evidence to overturn the call, and I don't think that was clear evidence.
No, I would agree with you there, but the one thing though that has just driven me nuts about Penn State football this year is it doesn't matter who they're playing. Offensively, the first half you might as well just throw out the window. They have started every game so slow. And I don't know, what do you think the the thought process is there. Why is it happening consistently every game this year?
And I think it's not just this year. It's been the past 3 or 4 years. I don't know if it's just their play calls. I don't know if it's the playbook. I don't know if it's mentality of the players. I don't know if people are just getting the jitters out. That it's taking a whole half, 3 quarters to get the jitters out to actually settle in.
But this is a home game. I mean, whiteout atmosphere. You think, hey, we got a game plan. We're playing a top 10 matchup here. Let's get hot out the gates here. And it just didn't happen.
No, they weren't clicking. It just looked rough. Trying to do cute little plays that just. You have 2 NFL-bound running backs. Okay, what did we do against Oregon in the Big Ten game last year? We ran all over them.
All over them.
They had no stop for the run game.
Mm-mm.
To me, they're up front. They had several people declare for the draft, but all their secondary is new, transfers and whatever else, redshirt freshmen. Run the ball. If it doesn't succeed once, guess what? Run the ball again. Especially when Drew Aller can't make a 5-yard pass accurately. Screw that. Run the ball. I don't know. And people were getting all up in arms about Drew Aller and the interception in the second overtime. Do I think it was a great decision to pass that ball? No. Do I think we should be passing on first down and second overtime? No. Run the ball. If it comes to a 3rd and 7 and you want to pass the ball, sure. If it's 4th down, sure. First down, we have Nick Singleton and we got Katron Allen. Run the freaking ball.
Yeah.
But people are getting too hung up on that, interception. When you put the ball in the air, there's always a chance for interception. The guy jumped the pass. Yes, it wasn't the best choice to throw that ball where he did, or to throw it in general.
Especially in triple coverage. I mean,
exactly.
There's 3 guys around them.
Just tuck it. If you get a yard or 2 gain, it is what it is. Throw it away. Throw it up in the stands. You're out of the pocket. But I'm not going to, blame the entire outcome of the game just on that, because at the end of the day, when you show up with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and you had 3.5 quarters before that to put points on the board, and you just didn't, I'm not putting that, I'm not putting the whole game on Drew Aller, because I believe offensively and defensively both in the first half we looked terrible. Our defense is what shines, but, I'm not, hating on the refs, but it's the same thing when we have Abdul Carter on the edge. When you had denied,
looked like WrestleMania out there. Like he was getting held so much, and I get it. There's calls that aren't called every single game, but come on, it's home field advantage. Give us a little bit of home field advantage. Call some of that a little bit. I'm all for Big Ten, nose to nose, tough football, but let's call it a little bit here.
When you have denied Dennis Sutton as a referee, you have to know that he is one of the best, if not the best, edge rusher in college football. So your eyes automatically, you got to watch the whole field, don't get me wrong. You have to pay close attention to that, because there are going to be holds to stop him. Because if there are not holds, he's getting to the quarterback 5 out of 10 times. It is what it is. He's going to beat any offensive lineman. He's quick, he's strong, and, that hole, if they would have called that hold on that one play, they don't go down and score the touchdown. Also, that fumble, that wasn't a fumble because the blade of grass made him down, or whatever. That also would have stopped the touchdown. But at the end of the day, we have to come out and play all 4 quarters of football, and we wouldn't find ourselves in those situations. So, not happy about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it was a close game against a top 10 opponent. I don't think it'll affect rankings a whole lot. Just got to make sure we win some games that we need to win. So,
and I think if we can take key takeaways from this game and apply them to other, ranked opponents, that's huge. If we at least gain 1 thing or 2 things out of this game, both coaching and players, playing style, it's a win in my book. That one loss so far isn't going to hurt our playoff berth, I don't think, because it was number 6 ranked opponent. But I would rather take a loss and gain something from it for the postseason than have a win and not take anything from it and just think we're untouchable.
Yeah.
So I think every team needs that kick in the groin to kind of kick you into gear and realize, like, okay, maybe we're not that good as we think we are, and we have things that we need to work on. And those losses are the losses that highlight what you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to watch film and be like, we were terrible. Here, here, and here. This is what we need to focus on. So I just think it was a poor team effort from, all sides of the ball. Coaching can't bring your best halfway through the fourth quarter.
Right. And honestly, with the new playoff format, with the expanded playoff format, one loss doesn't scare me as much anymore, right? Because a lot of teams that are having one losses, sometimes even potentially two losses, are getting into this new playoff format. So I don't think as long as you keep it to one or maybe two and still have some quality wins, I don't think you're in as bad of a spot as you were 5 years ago where they're only taking 4 teams.
Yeah. And I think, too, the committee does a pretty good job at looking at your losses. So say we lost to Oregon, and say we lose to Ohio State, and say Ohio State's still ranked number 1 or number 2. So we lost at the time, number 6 and number 2. They're going to take weight into that. If there's another team that's on the brink and they have 2 losses and one's to an unranked opponent, instantly they get shuffled behind. They look at the strength of opponent that they lost, both wins and losses. I'm not just saying 4 losses, but specifically when they see, a team was whatever in 2, they're going to look at those 2 opponents and be like, what were they ranked during that week when they lost?
Right. Right.
But I'm still all. Man, it pains me. Stay up, watch that game. We get that pick for the 2-point conversion. I'm like, all we have to go down and do is score a touchdown, and 2 points, we win this thing. Like that's all we got to do. And I thought with all of our weapons, we would, I don't know, somehow make it happen. But one poor decision, game's over.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the rest of the year pans out, but who knows? Maybe, like you said a couple weeks ago, maybe Bo Prabiola is going to come back and be the saving grace next year.
Hopefully. I know all the chants that were going on in the stadium saying a bad word, Drew Aller, and then fire Franklin. That stadium was erupting with chants about the quarterback and the coach.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But, all in all, provided a great weekend of sports. But also this weekend, you had some other exciting things happening this weekend. Do you want to share about those?
Yeah, so first of all, I had to work, which sucked. 1-year wedding anniversary today. Whippy. It went super fast, and now with the little kid here, it's going, I can only imagine, even faster. But then also, I'm now an uncle. So my brother and sister-in-law welcome their first child into the world, so that's awesome. So hopefully I get to see them soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a whirlwind of a weekend.
That's exciting stuff. Yeah, because this is your first official niece, right?
It is.
That's exciting stuff.
I haven't met her yet, but I can. Just the thought of having a niece or a nephew, in any case, being the uncle or an aunt in whatever case, is so awesome because you can spoil the child, you can do whatever you want, and you don't have to take that child home. You don't have to deal with the repercussions of whatever. You can buy them a Nerf gun. I'm not going to be the one getting shot in the face. My brother is. Sucks to suck, right?
That's right.
Like, you don't have to deal with it. But, in turn, my child is a nephew of my 2 brothers, so same thing's going to happen to us. But, I'm excited.
Good. Well, that's exciting stuff. Then obviously today's a special day as well, so can't beat that.
Yeah, it's we went out for dinner, which was nice. First time being out without the child. My in-laws watched our kiddo, but it doesn't seem like a whole year ago already.
No way, dude.
It's insane how fast this past year has gone. And like I said, especially with our kid now, it's only going to go quicker. I can't even imagine. This next year is going to feel like a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be running and talking, and time is just when you're little, you always think, I just want to grow up. Like, why can't I just be 20 years from now? Like, I just want to be a big person and do my own thing. Now, time just needs to slow down. It's craziness, man.
Dude, I believe it. And, yeah, considering the circumstances there, I'm sure it just flies by day. So, but, yeah, no, that's an exciting weekend. And, I'll get into my weekend a little bit here, but I'm not going to delve too much into it because it plays into a little bit of the gas and brakes here in the next segment. But spend another, part of the weekend in New Jersey this weekend. Celebrating a friend of mine. Celebrating a friend of mine that's getting married pretty soon. Did some fun stuff in Jersey there. Raced some go-karts, and that was a good time. Definitely recommend it. It was kind of a bigger company, and I found out that they have one of them close to where we live. So we might have to check that out sometime. That would be a great time. So we will have to check them out because these carts got up to 45 miles an hour. And I thought, so when I first went out and did it, I was like, okay, I'm going to be not cautious. I'm going to try and go fast. But I'm going to press the brakes, ease into the turns, not slam into the walls. And these people were zooming past me on the first lap. The lady threw the blue flag with the orange slash in it, which meant get to the outside so people can pass you. I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. So I laid on the gas then. And I was watching people go, and my buddy after the first race was like, Jake, you've just got to lay on the gas. Don't even touch the brakes. When I tell you, I just went for it, Trent. I was hammering gas the whole way. I was bouncing off the wall, rubbing the wall, bouncing. It says no bumping, but I bounced into some people, fortunately or unfortunately. Planned, not planned. But we have got to do it sometime, dude. It was so much freaking fun. I'm so excited to celebrate my buddy's wedding here in the next, very short time, a little over a month here. So I'll be making another trip back to New Jersey for that. But yeah, it was quite the weekend. Got to see some good friends again and meet some new folks. So it was a good time. All right. With that being said, though, let's jump into the gas and brakes segment. I'll let you start with it, and then I will delve into mine to kind of expand on what I just talked about.
I have something, or had something that happened this week that just pisses me off, Jake. It gets under my skin. If I order a product, especially if it's not free shipping, and it says, 2-day shipping, and I get the tracking number, and it leaves the facility, and then, because before it leaves, the estimated delivery date, kind of up in the air. Don't have too much weight in it. Left the facility. At first it said Monday, so tomorrow. Your item's going to be here. It's whatever. Left the facility, and it says, Friday, your package is going to be here, last Friday. So I'm like, fantastic. So, when I got that news, I made plans to use said item this weekend. Adjusted all of my plans to use said item, right? And when you have a kid, you understand, an infant, when you make these plans, it's more than just saying, I'll watch whatever later. So this item gets to Lewisberry, which is 15 minutes. The warehouse is 15 minutes from my house. Okay. It gets there Thursday night. It still says Friday you're getting your package. Well, no crap. This place is 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah, you could borderline walk there.
Right. Friday morning, it says delivery between 9:30 and noon. I'm like, okay. It's around 10:30. I'm out blowing my leaves while my father-in-law's watching my kid inside, and I see the FedEx truck pulling our development. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. Package is coming. Whatever. They drive around the development and leave. What the heck? What do you mean? And I wondered because it never said out for delivery. It never scanned out for delivery.
Okay.
So right away in the morning, I was like, maybe it's an afternoon truck. Whatever. It gets 3 o'clock. It's not scanned out for delivery. At that point, I'm pissed off. Yeah. Because Friday evening, I made plans to use said item. Never showed up. So I called FedEx at 10 p.m. They're just laid into them. Well, not really, but kind of. I'm like, man, I'm irritated. I paid for the shipping, and it was supposed to be here today. It was 15 minutes from my house a night ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't make it on the truck. That's not my problem it didn't make it on the truck. That's your problem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can I please drive to the FedEx facility tomorrow morning and pick this item up? Nope, that's not possible. So now apparently it's supposed to be coming tomorrow, Monday. But, long story, sorry I rambled.
No, go for it.
When I have an estimated delivery date, especially when I'm paying for shipping, even if I'm not, if it says it's going to be here Saturday, it better be here Saturday. Right. Don't give me a date if it's not coming.
Or if it's like the next day, just let you know. Not like 5 days later, like in this case.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It was, for those of you who are wondering, it was my exhaust for my truck. So I had to,
like we talked about last week? Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's a crucial piece.
Yeah, so I ordered a new exhaust. So I was planning to, when my wife got home from work, I was planning on, I took off 3/4 of my old exhaust. I had one piece left, the resonator, so it wasn't going to sound like a monster truck. I was going to take the resonator off, and then with my kid just sitting in the bouncy seat or whatever, and then whenever she got home, then I was going to install everything.
Right.
Well, all that got thrown out the window, so not happy.
Oh my gosh. I don't blame you one bit.
If it doesn't come tomorrow, I'm showing up to the FedEx facility. I'm showing up and I'm getting my package. I will find it myself if I must.
Oh, that's
like,
tough.
I understand if it's like some Amazon order and you order like sponges and they come a day late. Whatever.
Right.
But still, if it says it's going to be here Friday, and if it's 50, the real kicker is that it was 15 minutes from my house. Now, like where I grew up near you, if it was in Lewisberry and it didn't make it out the next day, whatever, it's an hour and a half. Like it is what it is. But I'm 15 minutes from this place.
And it's not a small package you're getting either.
No, it's like 6 feet long.
That's the thing. Like, it's not one that's like, oh, I forgot about that. Like,
yeah, they didn't just overlook it. Yeah, the one guy on the phone tried to tell me that the barcode was damaged. He's like, it was damaged in New York, the barcode, and that's why it didn't show up to your house. I'm like, well, then how did it know to go from New York to a facility 15 minutes from my house? Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Oh, I see the barcode was replaced. I'm like, then don't tell me it was the barcode.
Oh, man, you've just been taking 1-2s, uppercut punches, everything this weekend.
Yeah, well, I got another quick story. It'll be quick, promise. I'm also pumping the brakes on mobile orders for food joints, and they screw up your order. Can't stand it.
Oh, please share.
I am doing the facility, the establishment, a favor by ordering online. I'm not clogging up the inside. I'm not clogging up the drive-thru. I am doing an order from the comfort of my home so I can go in and pick it up off a shelf. Mm-hmm. Popeyes, okay, right down the road, just opened. Pull up to the drive-thru. The lady's like, "What's the name?" I was like, "Trent." She's like, "Okay." She comes back. She goes, "We don't have an order for Train." And I was like,
Train?
So my name's not Train. I said Trent with a T. She's like, "Oh, okay." Comes back. "We don't have an order for Trent." So I flipped over my phone. I said, "Trent, is this the location, the address?" "Yep." I said, "See the time?" "Yep." I was like, "That was half an hour ago." She's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Where's my order?" She's like, "We don't have it. Come inside." At that point, I'm fuming, right?
Yeah.
Go inside. Ain't nobody trying to help this guy out. There's one person up near the front bagging orders. She was a manager. It said manager on her badge. So after I waited in there for like 20 minutes, she was like walking by. I said, "Excuse me." She goes, "I'm busy bagging an order." I said, "No, excuse me. You need to come see me." I said, "I placed an online order almost an hour ago. We need to figure this out." She's like, "What's the name?" I said, "Trent." She's like, "Okay." She goes over to the screen. She goes, "Oh, it's right here." I said, "Can you please bag it? I've been waiting here. I went through the drive-thru and they said you didn't have it." So she bagged my order. I get home. For those of you who don't know, I hate mayonnaise. I
can already see where this is going.
I ordered, because it was an online order, it was my first account, you get a free chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I selected the chicken sandwich, and I selected no mayonnaise. The receipt said no mayonnaise. I get home, I'm pissed, because I just wasted an hour of my life dealing with shenanigans, because whatever. I understand they're working, they're trying, but sometimes it's just not good enough. Get my chicken sandwich. I open it up. Dude, it is slathered. Slathered. And my wife knows I'm already heated. All right. And I'm like, I pay. You know, the thing is that makes me mad. I understand they're working. They're trying their best. Whatever. I am working hard for the money that I earn to feed our family, right? So is my wife. We spend said money on stuff that we didn't order. Oh, it gets under my skin, man. So my wife ate my mayo slathered chicken sandwich, and I ate some tenders. And better yet, right?
Lay it on me.
I ordered French fries. Okay, She wanted mac and cheese instead of French fries.
Okay.
The lady's bagging.
I didn't even know. Hold on a second. I didn't even know Popeyes made mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's real creamy. I don't like it, but she loves it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyhow, I'm standing there fuming. The manager's bagging our order. She goes, "Oh, sir, can I just give you 2 mac and cheeses because we're out of French fries?" I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "We're out of French fries. Can I sub your French fries out for another mac and cheese?" I said, "Well, how long is the wait going to be for the French fries?" She said, "No, like we don't have any we don't have any here."
And this is a brand new restaurant, right?
Brand new, just opened up like 4 weeks ago. I said, "How does a chicken joint run out of French fries?" She said, "I don't know, sir, we're out." I said, "Yeah, put the mac and cheese in the bag." So I got mac and cheese that tasted like crap that I didn't like. I got a mayo slathered chicken sandwich. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Man, That is tough. If one chip could have fallen your way, like if Penn State could have won, or Team USA could have pulled a miracle today.
Or just getting my damn chicken sandwich without mayo. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, I said no mayo, and I expect there to be no mayo. Like, I looked at the screen, it said chicken sandwich Trent, no mayo. In bright red letters. I don't understand. But, yeah. Okay.
No mayo, and they just give it to you.
Oh, they gave me extra mayo.
Maybe the manager thought she was doing you a favor, saying, you know what, I'm going to give this guy a little extra mayonnaise because we have messed up his order here.
Now, she was in a bad mood because the phone rang while she was bagging my order. She picked up the phone and said, "Hello, this is Popeyes. Call back later," and hung up. Why even pick up the phone if you're going to do that? "Hi, this is Popeyes. Boop. Call back later," and hangs up.
It reminds me of like that episode of SpongeBob where Patrick's there answering the phone. He's like, "Hello, is this the Krusty Krab?" He goes, "No, this is Patrick." And he like slams the phone shut like 3 times. Oh, that's tough. That tough stretch of a couple of days there for you. It sounds like Trent.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. But that
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That's tough.
All right, I'll let you. I'm done ranting for the night. Thank you for listening. I feel better.
See, this is a good avenue for you to just get some of that stuff off your chest. I mean, it's good. It's good, right? You feel better?
I feel
good about it.
I feel a lot better. I did vent to my wife. Sure, like when I got home with my order from Popeyes, I was so angry. She's like, "I didn't do it." I'm like, "I know, but I have to vent, honey. If not, I will probably eat my fingers off when I'm eating these chicken tenders." Because number one, I was starving. Number two, then that whole shenanigans.
Oh, and that's even worse too. Whenever you're just like God grumbling hungry and it just doesn't pan out right. Dang. Well, I will say I'm going breaks as well this week. It's all for driving in Philly. I am not a fan of it. Oh my gosh, it was an awful experience. I went to New Jersey, like I said, here a few weeks back for a wedding. And I guess where I went in Jersey, I didn't have to drive through Philly. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm glad I didn't have to do it because this time was an absolute nightmare. People just flying everywhere, aggressive drivers. I made it through fine, like it was no big deal. But I could not do the traffic. The traffic was awful. Like, so as I was driving there, it said, "Take this route, you'll save 5 minutes." So my ETA, when I first started on the trip, was 11:35. I did not show up to the place till 12:01 because I drove through Philly. It said it will save you 5 minutes, and I'm telling you, dude, there was traffic. I don't even know how there's that many people in one area or where they're all going at that time. Like, I've never seen so many cars in one certain spot. And then here's the other, the capper on it all was, I've never seen so many people running at one time. Honest to God, you would have thought it was the Philadelphia Marathon or something with the amount of people that were just running. I mean, I'm all about physical fitness, getting in good shape, but I'm not telling you, there had to have been just as many cars as there were runners, and there was hundreds of cars, and I'm talking, I saw hundreds of people running. It was just crazy. And then Yeah, just way too much traffic. I don't, if I get it. People that love the city life, I could never. I would not thrive. I would not survive in that atmosphere because you have to plan like hours in advance to fight this traffic every single day. Like, can you imagine if something like a concert or going to an Eagles game, for example, which you'll never catch me going to one. Like, can you imagine driving in that? It was awful.
I get like, I don't live in a city like that. I get a little bit of traffic, a lot more traffic than what we're used to where we grew up. But nothing compared to Philly.
Yeah, I mean, it was just absolute nightmare. Don't recommend it to anybody, and I know I'll have to do it here sometime soon, and I'll be fine. I'll make it through perfectly okay, but it was just crazy. So, but
Yep, no, I get that.
so that's my take for this week. How about you run us through here the blind draft results from this last week? It was, like I said, I knew I was going to take one on the chin, and I definitely did. But why don't you share where we're at with this now?
Yeah, so last week we ran the soda blind draft, and we posted that on Instagram on Tuesday. And I had 8 people vote for me, and Jake had 5 people vote for him. So, or was it 8? So actually, yeah, I had 64% and Jake had 36%. So now total, I have 8 and Jake has 5. And we have 2 ties and the special guest have 1. So I kicked your butt again, Jake, in the soda round. It might have been the Verners that just wrecked you.
I had a lot of people in support of the Mellow Yellow choice, so I think it might be the Verners, but people have just got to give it a try, got to give it a go. I apologize for getting up there for a second. The the one pet here busted through the door like the Kool-Aid man, so I wasn't sure what was going on there, if I was getting attacked or what. So, but yeah, people got to give the Verners a try. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm feeling confident this week. I'm gonna have a good rebound week. On the blind draft, especially because I'm getting amped up and fired up to go watch the Cowboys. Hopefully they can perform this week. This week's blind draft topic is something I'm excited about. It's one we just came up with on the fly. We're going to do a blind draft on people to have around a bonfire. So whenever you're thinking of like a bonfire, right, you want to have a good quality group of people around just to enjoy the vibe of it. Have good conversation, maybe some good music. So we're going to jump right into that, see what happens here with basically this blind draft is, like I said, going to be all about what it's like to have, the top 5 people you'd like to have around on a good bonfire. So I don't remember last week if I did the coin toss or you did.
I think you flipped a coin, so I'll flip this week.
All right, I'm going to go ahead.
Flip a coin. It is heads.
That's right. Okay, so I am going to go with music right off the gate, and I think somebody that's going to provide good conversation. I think him and I's personalities would mesh really, really well together. I got to go Zach Top, one of the best country music artists out there right now. I think he'd have tons of great stories and obviously great musician. So I'm all on board with it.
Yeah, and he's going to be ripping cigs and drinking a beer and just having a good time. So,
that's right.
Good pick. I'm going for the laughs. Number one, you always have to have. To me, a bonfire is all about spending time with good people, getting, having some good laughter, enjoying time. So I'm going Shane Gillis, number 1.
Such a good pick. Such a good pick. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So, I'm actually going to go kind of the same route with humor, comedy type stuff. But also, I mean, this guy has had funny moments in his show, but also I think he would just bring a lot of really good stories to the bonfire. I'm going to go Bill Dance, arguably the best fisherman of all time. I mean, great TV show. I'm going to go with him.
It's a good pick. I think I'm going to bring in music at number 2 because you have to have someone, after you're getting tired, conversation slows down, having someone just, play a guitar, sing little tunes. I'm going Luke Combs.
All right. I feel like he'd be a good vibes guy too. Like,
yeah, just for sure.
Bring up the atmosphere there.
He's going to have the red solo cup in his hand too.
Right. So I think with my third pick, this is so tough, dude. I think for my third pick, just to kind of keep balancing out the same group of people I'm rolling with, I'm going to go kind of the comedic route as well, but kind of a little bit more of a throwback here. I'm going to go Larry the Cable Guy.
Yep. That was on my list as well. That's a solid pick. This one may be controversial. This may lose it for me, but I'm going Conor McGregor. Okay, someone may get punched in the throat, but at the same time, that man, when he talks, makes me laugh. And, can you imagine him in a field with a bunch of hicks around a fire?
Oh my gosh, dude.
I would be laughing at just listening to, my brain trying to process what he's saying. Especially when he gets fired up. Imagine if there's some alcohol in his system. It gets even more wild. So, Conor McGregor... I feel like
he'd be the type of the guy, too, that would, try and walk in the fire. You know what I mean? He'd be like, I can walk into fire. Or, I don't know how to do his accent, and he just, walks into coals or something like that. So... That's an interesting pick, okay.
But then also, last thing, small town, you have people going around looking for trouble. We have Conor McGregor in our little bonfire. Someone shows up trying to cause trouble. We have our guy.
Yeah, he's going to do it. He's going to do it for you.
He's going to do it one way or another.
Man, I don't know. This is so tough. I feel like this is another music pick, but I also just think personality-wise it'd be a good mesh with this crew. I'm going to go with Riley Green. Talk hunting, talk fishing, just seems like a good, honest guy. I think that's who I'm going to go with number 4.
That's a good pick. I'm repping Theo Von, number 4.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love watching clips of Theo Von where he just says the most out-of-pocket things, and I die laughing. My wife was like, what did you just watch? What did he just say? And I'm like, I don't know.
Can you imagine him and Connor, though, at the same bonfire?
Yeah, that's what I'm just going for. And Shane Gillis, Theo Von, Conor McGregor. You have Luke Combs sitting over there stringing some chords. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be pretty tough here, and I'm going out swinging as well with this one. This one might not be a fan, not really a fan favorite because I think he's awesome, but I just don't think a lot of people know about this guy. So if you go on TikTok, there's a guy by the name of Nolan Reed who does some pretty awesome stuff. He's just a real laid-back guy, has this awesome killer stash. And, I mean, he just, he does, these vibe videos. I don't even know how to describe it. He'll just be, riding around on, his moped in town, just, hanging out with friends or going for a walk or something like that. So I'm going to go with Nolan Reed for my 5th pick. If you don't know him, you have to look him up to understand why he's my 5th pick.
Number 5, I'm going with the little human himself, Kevin Hart.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I love laughing. I love watching TikToks of their comedy skits of all the people that I mentioned. I just love to laugh. It's such a humor, and I find not dark humor, but just humor that a lot of people would get offended by. I love, because I strictly know, Matt Rife is one where he'll say controversial stuff, but I understand that it's to make people laugh and to make people smile, to make people have a better day than what they were having 5 minutes ago. So I understand that all of this is humor, and that's the stuff that I just thoroughly enjoy and makes me forget about, my mayo on my chicken sandwich. So Yep. So I'll go rattle mine off, and then you can rattle yours off.
Sounds good.
So I went Shane Gillis number 1, Luke Combs number 2, Conor McGregor number 3, Theo Vaughn number 4, and Kevin Hart rounding it out at number 5.
That's such a solid list. You got a good variety there too. So I went Zach Tuck number 1, Bill Dance number 2, Larry the Cable Guy number 3, Riley Green at 4, then the 5th, somebody that you all should look up, Nolan Reed.
Bang.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid list. So don't forget to vote on that Tuesdays on the Instagram poll. If you don't have Instagram, shoot us an email at the jakebreakpodcast@gmail.com or find a way to get a hold of us to let you know your vote, because I am in desperate need of some votes now to catch up with Trent, because he has been clobbering me here the last month and a half. But overall, I mean, another episode of the Jake Break in the books, episode 17. We are cruising and rolling here. Trent, anything to add for the folks here this week before we sign off?
I don't think so. I just
Okay.
hope I have a better week. I hope you all have a good week. If you've been in the trenches like I have been, better days are ahead.
That's right. That's right. And it'll just be the icing on the cake, or the good kickstart to the week that I need if the Cowboys can pull off a win tonight. So we'll anxiously await to see the results of that.
That's right.
All right. We appreciate your support. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram. Stay tuned for the YouTube. We're slowly posting all the film episodes that we have on YouTube. There's a couple up there now if you'd prefer the visual option there. But otherwise, we'll see you next week.